Hi, my name is Sarah Showalter-Feuillette. I'm a 2007 graduate of the University of Michigan. I have a degree in vocal performance from the Michigan Music School and also a bachelor's in psychology from the School of LS&A. So when I graduated in 2007, I was working in the admissions office and also at a restaurant, and I was there for an additional year while I figured out what to do. And I found my way out to Napa, California, where I was then an administrative assistant at a resort, which, was fun in its own way, but ultimately I got a little restless there. So I was looking for the next step. And given that I had the 2 degrees in music and psychology, I thought, oh, maybe I want to do music therapy. So I started looking at graduate programs that would allow me to become a licensed therapist, but that offered sort of more of a well-rounded, off the beaten path curriculum. And ultimately, I found myself looking at the website of the California Institute of Integral Studies, which is here in San Francisco. So ultimately I was looking at their psych programs, but I was really intrigued by their integrative health master's program, which ultimately is what I did. So I graduated with a master's in integrative health studies, which is really sort of a way of thinking about how to include all types of healing modalities and different ways of being and knowing and healing and relating to the world, and how we can integrate those into the systems that already exist. So in a lot of ways that means the current medical model, how you integrate acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine in general, Ayurveda, and other types of sort of newfangled ideas. They're not really newfangled, they're ancient, but how you bring them all together and get them all to work together. So when I finished that program in 2011, I was also a licensed health and wellness coach. So I took a job at a corporate wellness company where I was working as a coach, and I also began to manage the team of health coaches that were here in San Francisco. So I did that for a couple of years before I realized that I was really missing the music. Music's always been a really big part of me, and so I started teaching piano and voice lessons on the side. Ultimately, that grew enough and was feeding me enough that I quit the job as a health coach, and I've been teaching music ever since. So that's what I've been doing, and additionally, I do a lot of writing on the side. I've been employed as a writer from grad school on, and recently I actually just published a book. You can probably see it right there. It's called Find Your Birth Joy, and I wrote it after having a really transformational and awakening experience birthing my daughter here at home in my apartment in San Francisco. So I guess all of that is just to say that I've followed quite a few different paths, and then what I work on now is a couple of different things, right? I teach the piano and voice out of my home. I own my own business in that regard, and I have the studio here in my house. And I do the writing on the side, both for some publications, and then, the book is something I've done myself. One of the best classes, if not, really probably the best class I took there was with Dick Mann. It was called Psychology and Spiritual Development. It was a class you took your senior year. You had to apply to get in. There were only 30 students, and we read a lot, and Dick Mann's just an amazing teacher. But that class and the readings that we did just opened my mind, without getting into too many details, really changed my perspective on many things, including education and academia, intelligence, spirituality, religion, just new ways of thinking and new ways of being in the world. The best piece of advice I've ever been given was really from my older brother. And I used to fret a lot about, am I qualified for this job? Am I qualified to do this thing? Do I know enough to do that? And he said, Sarah, nobody that's working in the world really knows what they're doing. You know, once you're in it, you're just working and you're getting better and you're learning as you go. And he's a very successful man, so I took that to heart, and I've found that it really proves to be true. You know, when you are in school, it's all about attaining the knowledge and, you know, grabbing the credits that you need and sort of proving that you know enough. And then, so I always thought, okay, I have to know everything so that I can be qualified to do X job. But, you know, in a lot of ways it doesn't really work like that. Or even if it does, even if you do become qualified enough to, say, get accepted to a graduate program or be offered a job or get your licensure, you still then, once you start working, you learn as you go. It really doesn't matter the job or the career you have. The real life work and experience is how you really get good at what you're doing. So I hope something in there is helpful to someone, and good luck as you embark on the next phase of your life after being at the awesome University of Michigan. Go Blue!